Hi there, Chris Fox here. I'm been away from this for a while now, and I got an interesting one here. The Cummins engine that I've been working on, that people have been following me with, is in the back of my shop right now. But what I did have to do was I rebuilt for a 1954 TM2 Trackmobile this L134 Jeep engine, L head here, and it runs nice. What happened to this one is that it basically spun the number one main bearing, had fuel dilution in it, basically bad maintenance, and we fixed them up, so it's all good now. So that ran on the test stand there not that long ago. Runs good, developed 40 psi oil pressure, and it's good. Now, I didn't show any rebuild on that for any video because there's a ton of these rebuilds online, and quite frankly, this was an emergency rebuild, so I just didn't want to spend the time on doing it. But that being said, the transmission that goes in this is this, which is a Borg Warner or Warner Gear Company T9. Just a crunch box because there's no synchros in it. And it's quite an interesting transmission actually, because you can go forward in 4 gears and reverse in 4 gears. So you have the bell housing with the clutch, you have a reversing gearbox, and then you have your 4-speed transmission. So we have some bit of a problems with this one too. This is our spare transmission. The actual transmission, I have the other box here that I have stripped and rebuilt. That's the reversing gearbox. The transmission actually is over in the parts cleaner, which is here. And all the subsequent gears and everything are back in here. Okay, the problem we found with this original transmission, this is the output shaft. It comes out of the transmission. This is where everything slides. This is your main bearing. Take that off, and then you have your... Okay. So that's your output shaft. And these on the bottom here, you have a vibration dampener with rubber grommets. And that's up from the other one. And you have a shaft brake, so you have a brake hub. So the problem that we were having with this is the splines are worn down to just about nothing because this was not tight enough on the shaft. The castle nut that goes on the bottom of this became loose even though it had a cotter pin in it, and this was slopping around, and you have wear on the splines and wear on the hub. You can see the difference in the splines visually from that one to that one. This one's much better. So we're going to replace the spline. The shaft here isn't worn. It's worn a little bit, but we're going to check this. We're going to check this shaft, and we're going to check the shaft in the transmission that I have on the stand, and we're going to see which one's the best. These splines here are just about good, just about new. This one here we'll have to send for rebuild, maybe get re-splined. And I want to check the ends of the splines on this one. They don't look bad, but the amount of money it costs to spray weld and get that done, between the two transmissions, I'm hoping I can actually get one, and then we can have one as a we'll get this rebuilt still, but still, to put it back into service. So there's not many of these I saw on the internet, so I figured we might as well do a YouTube video on this one and show you how it comes apart and subsequently going back together. So let's get into it. Okay, so this is a reversing gearbox, and we will take the top off it. And that's what it looks like inside. Remember, I've already sprayed this down and I've drained the oil out of it. It had about 10% water in it. Oil was pretty clean, but it was still shiny. It had shown signs of smashing and crashing, which is typical in these boxes, gearboxes. All right, and this is the transmission side. Take the forks off, and there's your 4-speed transmission. Counter shafts and everything in the bottom there. So, all right, let's get to it. We'll split the boxes and take the shafts out. All right, so after I hook it up to my little crane here, and you take the bolts out that hold the transmission to the reverse box, give it a tap with a small hammer, soft-faced hammer, and then it should, yeah, there it is. Should be good that way. You should be able to wiggle it out off the shaft. Like that. Now what happens is that this shaft and this shaft are put together so you can take them apart. So I can't do this two at one time, so let me take it apart and then I'll show you what it's like afterwards. Okay, so we have it split there. It should now just, there it is. Right. And then on this side here, you have a bearing. And you have the other bearing that's here, and the reversing gearbox. So we're going to work on this one by taking the shafts out of this one here. All right, so we'll take the end plate off here, this piece here. All right, and now that's fine. And now, yeah, this here is, if you can see it in there, huh? Oh, that seal's really done. Wow, it is a double seal. The seal here, there's a seal here. You can see it right there. And there's really tight. Let's see if we can take the shaft out. Oh, there's a spacer, which is good. All right. Should really put it on its back. Let's see if I can do that. Put down. There's the shaft. There's the one gears. The second one. Because counter shaft. I can't remember. That's not good. That's not good. Never good when a bearing hits the floor. So it's like that inside here, so. I would go in there like that. Spacer would go in there like that. Bearing would go in there like that. And then your shaft is here. Goes and turns inside all of it. All right. So there's the inside of the box without anything in it. It's just a box. Yeah, we have spring keepers here. One on either side that I have to remove, and then we can clean that up, put that in the dunk tank and do that. There's the, to get all this, put this in the tank too, get that all cleaned up. Doesn't look that bad really. I won't know until I really start looking at it. So yeah, that's it taken apart. So the next one will be, we'll put it back together. Slowly, but we'll definitely do it. Okay. Thanks for watching.